Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Obviously, I am in the mall today. I am in Cafe Amazon. It's a very relaxing day. We're taking off in a few hours to go to Koh Samet, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't been there in almost 30 years. I haven't been to Koh Samet. So, in fact, the last time I went there was one of the first trips that I took to Thailand, and I went with some chick, and you know, it was fun, but that was the last time. So it'll be interesting to see how it's changed in almost 30 years. So I'm looking forward to going and checking it out. So right now, Thai baht is still over 35. Good morning, Carnivore Chronicles. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? It's 35.05 to the dollar, which is pretty darn good. It's over 35. As long as it stays over 35, I'm happy. The air quality is 55, which is not very good, but you know, it's okay. I want it to be in the green. I want no pollution. I want very little pollution. 84 degrees, high of 91, low of 79. The temperature, the feel-like temperature is 90 because the humidity is 73%. So it is kind of humid. You know, it's always hot here, but you kind of, I was going to say you kind of get used to it, but you just tolerate it. That's all you do. It's all you can do. I want to just give a big shout out to Carlos again today because, you know, I think he's went through his surgery on Tuesday. I sent him a message on Wednesday, but I haven't heard from him yet. So hopefully, you know, he's just recovering or he's just busy or whatever it is, but hopefully he's okay and doing well. I look forward to hearing from him, you know. And let's see, tonight I got a video coming up. It's a $10 challenge. What can I get with street food for 10 bucks? That should be pretty good. It's about 15 minutes long, and I had a lot of fun making it. I had a hard time spending 15 bucks. You know, I mean, I could have bought food for the whole family, but Nicholas is not here. Bo, you know, she eats what she wants to eat. And so, you know, I just got some food for myself and then some other things, and it was kind of hard to spend that. So please watch that video tonight. It'll be going up at 8 o'clock tonight. And I think it's pretty good. So the big news in Thailand is that there's a new prime minister. I don't know what it means for us as expats, as foreigners, as people living here. I don't know what it's going to mean. I don't think they care at the moment right now. I think they're just trying to get up to speed and trying to get the guy in and get him settled and figuring things out, you know, slapping him on the back and all that kind of stuff. But in a couple of months, we'll find out. And I'm anxious to see what it means for foreigners, because really that's all that I really care about, because I can't vote. You know, most people here, they can't vote. And, you know, what his choices and how the direction that his choices lead foreigners in is really the only thing that's important to me. What he does for Thailand, I mean, you know, it's important. Of course it is. It's important. But the bottom line is, you know, he could screw up the economy. He could make the things a lot better. He can do all kinds of things. And for the most part, it's really not going to affect us. But what will affect us is the choices that he makes for policies related to foreigners. And I'm anxious to see what happens with that. So that's the main thing. If you are watching, don't sit back and just chill and don't speak, don't say anything. Feel free to join into the chat. And if you could, please hit subscribe. Please smash the like button. Go ahead and hit join if you want. Become a Patreon patron. I thank all my patrons, my VIP membership people on my website, and also the people who sponsor me through YouTube. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. You can go down in the description and it will tell you everything. So today we're going to talk about the countries, 10 countries with the highest life expectancies. And you know, the United States is not in there. Doesn't surprise me. 10,000 baht for everyone. How likely is that campaign promised to materialize? I don't think it's going to materialize. I'm sorry. You know, oh yeah, let's just give money to everybody. Let's just give it away. Why don't you put it into the policies of the government to make the government work better? Why don't you fight corruption? Why, I mean, you know, there's a ton of things that can be done, but it's not for me to say. It's, you know, there have been many, I don't know how many prime ministers I've gone through since I've been here, but it's been, you know, it's been at least 5. Maybe as many as 10. I don't know. I gotta think about it. I gotta look it up. But there's been a handful of them, and you know what? For the most part, it hasn't mattered. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. It doesn't mean anything to me. The only thing that matters, like I said, is how they run the government with the policies related to foreigners. That's all that matters. Everything else, I mean, you know, when it was 55 baht to the dollar, I was loving life. And then the prices went up. You know, it's going to happen. And then they don't lower the prices when the baht goes down. The prices are going up now. Believe me. Even yesterday, I mean, it was really nice. It was great. But, you know, back in the day, even 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you could get quite a bit more for your money than you get now. And I mean, you know, I got a lot yesterday, but you know, I got a lot for 10 bucks. But you know, 10, 20, 30 years ago, let's just say 10, even 5, I could have got a lot more stuff. And so prices are going up just like they go up everywhere. And here in Thailand, I don't know how they do it here, because they're not making, most salaried employees are not making a huge amount of money, and so I don't know how they can afford to go to Starbucks or go out to dinner all the time. And you know, when they go out to dinner, it's like, you know, for a family of 4, they might be spending 2,000 baht. You know, that's 50, 60 bucks. So I don't know how they do it. I know how we do it, and you know, we just don't spend on a lot of frivolous things. You know, when we want to go out, we have the money to go out because we're not spending on junk. We're not spending on, you know, stuff that we don't need. I mean, really, our rent is cheap. Everything is cheap. Our electricity is generally a little bit more than our rent, or almost as much as our rent, and that's so that we can be comfortable. And our electricity has gone up from 5,000 baht to 7,000. Now it's almost always 7,000. For some reason, the water bill has gone down. Maybe it's because Nicholas is not here. Maybe it's because with 3 people, we're not using nearly as much water. I don't know, but we're not. So, and the mall, you know, the mall is not open, but it's open. There's people walking around here who, I don't know how they got in or what. Maybe they came in through the back, and you know, I don't know what it is, but they're here. This place opens up at 8 o'clock. Starbucks is open. I think it's 7. I was gonna go to Starbucks, but I just went, what do I want to go to Starbucks for? I can come here and have a halfway decent cup of coffee. But today we're going to talk about the life expectancies, which, I mean, you know, if you give it some thought, if you can live to be 100 and you're healthy and you're doing well, as in some places, like in the blue zones, and you know, you're living an extra 20 years, you're just leaving those on the table. That's what you're doing. And there's no reason to do it. You know, if you can live to be 100, why not? And you're functional and you're healthy and you're not like, you know, you're not wearing a diaper. Why not? Who's to say? I mean, you know. So, and I'm, you know, an older guy. I'm not young anymore. And I really hope I live to be over 100. As long as I don't have to have diapers. You know. I don't have to think about that. But anyway. So, you know, if you are able to live longer, why not? Why not do what you can to live longer? And like I said, the United States is not in this list. And I should have looked, but, you know, I got the list. There's a list of 25, but I thought that was a little bit too lengthy. And so I didn't look. I looked before, I didn't look this time. You know, I looked like a couple weeks ago. I was going to do this stream. I don't know, a week ago or so. This came from, actually, it was the countries with the lowest life expectancies. I was sent that article by 2/4 Korean, and I just turned it around and thought, well, what about the highest life expectancies? So, you know, do I care about the lowest life expectancies? Well, of course you do, but really, I really care about how are the people living longer, not why are they living shorter. So I'm going to start out. Number 10 is Singapore, which, okay, I guess. And I can't really see this here. What's the problem here? The average age is 82.8 years. And it says here, Singapore may have very strict laws, but it has fantastic healthcare system to take care of its citizens. You know, I don't know how their healthcare is, to be honest. I've been there many times, and I don't want to go back, really. You know, if I went back for some event or something for 2-3 days, yeah, all right, I would do it. But other than that, I don't really want to go there, because what is the purpose for me? I've already seen it. I've already gone and eaten. I've eaten Singaporean food. I've eaten, you know, nasi goreng. I've eaten all this stuff. And all right. So if there's a big event where somebody's fighting or there's a rock concert or something, and I want to go there, all right, maybe I go. Other than that, though, it's not a place where I would want to live. It's a place where you go to work, which is fine, I guess. But I don't want to go there, just because it's boring to me. It's a boring place. I'll be honest. Oh, 2/4 Korean. Very glad for you to join us. Thank you. And I have this article here. Now this girl came in. I don't know. She's in here, and she can't order any food or anything here because they're not. This restaurant is closed from the inside but open from the outside. Good morning, Mr. Dallo. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me. All right, let's go on. You know, my service has sucked hard to watch live streams. You know, I really like noodles a lot. That's the problem. I like noodles. I mean, yesterday I went off my diet again. I go off every week, you know, once a week or so. I have a cheat day. But yesterday I just ate a little bit of many things. And you know, I like the noodles. The noodles are what I really, really like. Well, thank you very much, Dallo. I like noodles. I like some rice dishes, but I like noodle dishes more than I like rice dishes. I like pad thai, pad siu, pad ki mao, lad na. I like these meals. And, you know, for me, I look at it and I go, should I eat that? Well, I can eat it, no problem. But you know, if you keep it, you limit yourself to the amount of noodles and rice that you have. I think you'll be a lot better off than if you're just eating whatever you want and you're just eating noodles all the time and eating rice all the time. So that's why I limit myself. I don't eat khao soi every day or every week. I don't eat pad thai all the time. I just don't do it. I don't eat kway teow. Because if you do it, for me, I'll gain weight. And I've worked hard to lose weight and keep the weight off. And I still want to lose more weight. So I don't want to eat too many noodles. So that's why I don't eat noodles, even though they're extremely tasty and they're some of my favorite. I mean, I like noodles of all kinds. I like noodles in pasta. I like noodles in Thai food. I like noodles in Singaporean food, Vietnamese food. I like all kinds of noodles. You know, if I think about it, the noodle dishes are probably my favorite dishes of all the dishes. So, anyway, number 9, Liechtenstein. You know, that tiny little country in Europe. Total life expectancy of both sexes at birth is 82.8 years. Total life expectancy of both sexes at birth in 2021, 83.3. So it's gone up from 2020, it's gone up a half a year to 83.3. Has the highest gross income per capita in the world. I didn't know that. And reported a major increase of a half a year from 2020 to 2021. I didn't know that Liechtenstein had the highest gross income per capita. I'm not normally a beer drinker except when I'm here. A couple of Leos at night. Probably not good for you though. Yeah, I don't generally drink. Although I have a little bit of tequila left. And I was going to ask Bo, listen, if I bring this tequila, will we drink it? Because there's only about a finger or two, not 2 fingers left. And we can probably suck it all down this weekend. You know, we weren't sure that we were going to go. Originally, I thought we were going to Koh Samet. And she said, no, we're going to Koh Samet. We have a room in Koh Samet. We have a voucher for Koh Samet, and she contacted the place. Nobody got back to her. She contacted him again. Nobody got back to her. So finally, she told her staff, "Hey, please call him up for me." So they called him up. They said, "Oh, yeah, okay, great. You have a room, but it's not confirmed." So then she got an email. It's not confirmed yet. So we're waiting for confirmation, and 2-3 days go by. So finally yesterday, she contacted them, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's confirmed." And she said, "Well, how am I supposed to know it's confirmed if you're not sending me it?" She's a little dirty on this place because the sales team didn't get back to her. And you know, in a couple of days, if they don't get back to you in, like, say, a full day, then, like, what's going on? And so we were thinking of somewhere else to go, and I was preparing a backup plan for us, and fortunately we don't have to use it. So we're leaving tonight. We're gonna stay. I think we're gonna stay in Rayong. I'm not sure, or we may just go straight to Koh Samet, and then, you know, we'll spend Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in Koh Samet and come back on, I think, Monday night. So, or Tuesday morning. One or the other. I'm not sure yet. So, at least we're going to get out of Bangkok. I haven't been to Koh Samet in, like I said, 30 years, almost 30 years. Maybe it's 26, 27, I don't know. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, good morning. And so, it'll be nice to go back, and you know, there's not a whole lot to do there. I will say that right now. The island isn't that big. You can go kayaking, you can go swimming, you know, you can lay out on the beach, you can go to the bars, you can go for little hikes around the, around the islands. So there's enough stuff to keep us busy for a couple of days. And really, for me, that's all I want. That's fine for now. I want the big adventure. You know, I'm starting to get that urge for the big adventure, and I was like, okay, maybe I will kayak from Koh Chang all the way around the islands, and you know, it would take like a couple of weeks, like 12 days or 14 days. But you stop every 15 kilometers or so, 20 kilometers or so. And, you know, Bo will never go for that. She's not going to do it. So I will do it. Maybe. But I want to see how, I want to see what the kayaking is like in Koh Samet. And, you know, it should be nice. So, anyway. Number 8, Norway. These numbers they're not that great, really, when you look at them. I mean, I guess by averages, they're pretty good. But when you say somebody's going to live to be 83 years old, that's pretty good. You know, I mean, not that long ago, it was 75 years, 72 years. So it's pretty good. But in Norway, total life expectancy of both sexes at birth for 2022 is 83.2. And at 2021, it's the same. So it has not gone up. The country has reaped riches from its vast oil reserves, this is Norway, which it has immediately invested into well-being for its citizens. Now, you know, I know Norway is not very big. It's not a huge country. It's not a huge country. But what if the United States reinvested some of its funds back into the well-being of its citizens? I don't see it happening. I don't think they do it. What if Thailand did it? Generally, Thailand doesn't do it. Now, there is a place, I think it's over towards the airport, that I've been meaning to go. It's like the Metro Forest or something like that. I've been meaning to go there, but, you know, I may just do a video because it's going to be very, very hot there. I want to go first thing in the morning or late in the afternoon. And it's kind of like the park that I went to a couple of weeks ago. And, but it is a very green place, very nice place, and you know, a place that you, when you're out in this place, you don't really, I think that was Richard. If that was Richard, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Whoever it was, but I think it was Richard. Thank you. But this is one of those places where you go to and you're like, you know, you're just walking around, but it's a very nice environment, and you know, you get away for a couple of hours. That's it. And honestly, how can I say this? Well, you know, I like the city in a way. There's a part of me that does kind of like being able to jump on the SkyTrain and go here and go there, and oh, it's so nice. I can just get a taxi or whatever it is. you know, I don't have any problem just whiling away the days near the beach or in the mountains even. It doesn't matter. I'll get old. I don't have any kind of problem doing that, and so, you know, I'll do what I can, but like I said, you know, it may be a little while before we can get out of here and we go somewhere else. I don't know. It may be 2-3 years. So, you know, who knows what I'll be doing in 2 or 3 years. I mean, I don't know yet. So, number 7, Switzerland. The total life expectancies of both sexes at birth for 2020 is 83.1. It went up all the way to 84 in 2021, so 0.9 years. Switzerland is also counted among the happiest countries in the world. It has great housing, excellent schooling, and low rates of unemployment. And you know, there is a direct correlation between countries that are doing very well financially and their happiness, you know, and really how long they live. You don't see places in Africa that are horrible places to live that you really don't want to live there, and they're living to be, you know, 80 years old. You don't see that. So I think there's a direct correlation between the financial well-being of a country and the physical well-being of its citizens. Now the next one, wow, the next one's a little bit surprising to me, but maybe I guess it's not if I think about it. The coffee was decidedly average. Your father is still alive. I don't need to live to 84. I probably can't afford the health insurance. Okay. Do you have health insurance now? You have it through the VA. So anything major, you're covered. See, if I were you, I don't think I would come to Thailand. I really don't. And I'm not trying to steer you off of it. I don't think I would come to Thailand if I were you, because your insurance is through the VA. I would be in Mexico or somewhere close to the United States, so that if you really needed to, you could just, you know, jump on the jet. Boom, you're in the hospital. You know, a couple of hours. You know, you get a, I forget what they're called, but you draw a circle around the VA where you go, and you know, you're not more than, say, 500 kilometers away. That's what I would do. And you know, honestly, we've been talking about where to go, and I don't know. You know, I don't know. I mean, you know, like Ecuador seemed good the first trip. I think I need another trip there to really check it out and to see that I really like it, because the village where I was, Ayampe, very nice village, very quiet. It's very my style. However, for the long term, I'm not sure that it would cut it for me. Maybe some other place would in the vicinity. Well, you should do that. Get good health insurance if you're going to be here. You know, just pay it automatically. You don't have to worry about it. And then whatever you have left over, that's great. You know. To me, that's the better idea. But if you don't want to pay for insurance, you've got insurance in the U.S. And if you need to be seen in the U.S. for something major, and you don't want to have to deal with it through your insurance company, you can always go back. Although that might not be ideal for you. But I'm just not sure No, I don't think that's what it is, Carnivore. I think it's if you have a service-connected injury, which I think Two Quarters Korean has. I think they will take care of you. I think you'll at least be reimbursed. But I think if you are somebody like me who didn't have a service-connected injury, you are not covered. You can't be covered. There's no way to be. I've gone through. I've just gone through every single channel I could to try to get to try to figure out, am I covered? And every time I was told no, 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 no. You know. No, that's not what I've heard. And what I've heard is that they also are service-connected injuries only. So if you've never been injured in the service, if you're just some guy who did 4 years or you did 20 years or whatever it is, you're not going to be covered by the VA. Yeah, I don't know about the foreign medical program, but so far that's what I've seen and that's what I've heard. So anyway, number 6, Malta. Yeah, it's very limited and it's service-connected injuries only. I've already checked on this. I've checked many times and they have not changed it. They're not going to change it. If they're going to do anything, you're not going to be able to be covered if you're outside of the United States. That's the direction they're heading, although I don't know when or, if it's going to happen. If they're going to do anything, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to say, oh, well, everybody can be covered now. All right, no problem. No, that's not what's going to happen. They don't want to do that. Don't you know, in America, they want to keep all the Americans American and living in America. They don't want people leaving and living outside of the United States. And I forget who it was that told me, oh, well, Social Security, you're not going to get it if you live out. That's not for regular Americans. That's for foreigners, that you cannot collect your Social Security if you're outside of the United States. It's not for the average American, the person born in America. That's not what it's for. So, if they do that, that would, I can't see them doing that, but, stranger things have happened. I don't know. Number 6 is Malta. Total life expectancy of both sexes at 2020 is 83.4. As you see, all these countries are right around 83. Total life expectancy of both sexes in 2021, 83.8. Malta has a very competitive healthcare industry, which has allowed for a high number of hospitals and physicians, where 4.7 hospital beds and 3.8 doctors are present for every 1,000 citizens. So, who would think that this tiny little island would be a great place to live and to be, and it's I've seen it on many lists now of places to live for expatriates, and it just continues to improve. So we'll see what happens with that, because generally, the countries, most of the time, they improve and then the prices go up, and then it's harder to stay there, and it gets a little harder as time goes by and as they get better. So we'll see what happens. Number 5, and this should make you very happy, 2 quarters Korean, Republic of Korea. 2020, the average age is 83.6. 2021, 83.7. So those Koreans, they live to be older. Richard lost a lot of weight. I didn't recognize him at the grocery store. Really? Wow. Well, I don't think he was that overweight the times I saw him. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I guess that's a good thing. Losing weight is a good thing. And, you know, I know that for sure because I've lost 40 pounds. And it does make a difference. If you think about carrying 40 pounds on your back all the time when you're walking around, and then all of a sudden you don't have it. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Good to see you here. If you think about carrying 40 pounds on your back, and then all of a sudden somebody goes, okay, it's gone. You don't have that 40 pounds on your back. It's like carrying a rucksack, you know. How can you, I mean, if you think about it, you know, like I always say, it's rice bags. 40 pounds is what? It's about 18 kilos, 19 kilos in rice. So each bag of rice is 5 kilos. You're carrying almost 4 bags of rice on your back. And if you think about that, that's huge. I mean, you know, and I go all the time and exercise at the gym. I'm still going. I still go and do yoga all the time. I'm doing the Aerodyne and the bicycles now. And, you know, one of the reasons is because, you know, I didn't think of this. But when let's say that you're 25 and you're carrying around an extra 20 pounds. All right, you might not think it's that much. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you are carrying around, you know, an extra 25 pounds when you're 25, then you're 45 and you're carrying around an extra, wow, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Congratulations. But if you go up, let's say that you gain an extra 5 pounds over 20 years and you're 45 and now you're carrying around 30 pounds more. What happens is you're carrying that weight around for all that time, and as you get older, your body is more and more stressed by the weight that you're carrying. When you're 25, it might not be that much to carry an extra 20 pounds around. But when you get to be 45 and you're carrying, say, 25 pounds or 30 pounds extra, it's a lot. It really is a lot. You know, I'd say just cut out the sugar. That's it. Cut the sugar out. Cut the sugar out. You know? I mean, I have a little bit of flab around the belly. And other than that, you know, I'm rock solid, man. I mean, I swear by this yoga. It's so good for you. And the ladies, most of the ladies that are the teachers, sometimes I'm the only guy in the class, which, you know, it's fine for me. But they really work you hard. I mean, I'm dripping in sweat sometimes, and for me at my age, it's very, very good. And, you know, I notice in the mirror when I look at myself, I notice, man, I got muscles I didn't even know I had before, and it's all from yoga and, you know, the the bicycle and the Aerodyne and the rowing machine, all that stuff. And I don't want to lift weights. I don't really feel like, you know, I need to lift all that much. If I lift 3 times a week, that's enough. It's plenty. 3 times a week, and then you do some aerobics 3 times a week. They don't have to all be on the same day or anything like that. And I do yoga 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times, sometimes a week. Yeah, I don't put sugar in my coffee. I never put sugar in my coffee. That's a no-brainer. Cut all that shit out. My sugar is beer, milk, and orange juice. Well, I don't even drink orange juice most of the time. Although yesterday I had some coconut juice. The coconut girl, she's in the video. The new coconut lady. She's a lady, not a girl. I did have some coconut juice. So there's some sugar in that. You know, I ate my share of food yesterday, but Yeah, I don't drink orange juice. I don't drink juice. Most of the time, all I have is coffee, tea, and water. Most of the time, it's water. That's all I drink. And I think that will help you. If you cut out the sugar, that'll help immensely. Okay. South Korea's economy has experienced incredible growth among the last several decades, and its life expectancy has improved over the last year, mainly due to lower infant mortality rate. That's interesting. I mean, you know, I look at the stuff that they have here. They have all kinds of donuts, and they have all kinds of pastries, and you know, look at this guy over here who's skinny as a rail, but he's drinking, or eating rather, he's drinking coffee, and she's drinking the matcha tea, and they're eating that, and they're both skinny, which is what's kind of funny. Eating that croissant with, I think it's got cheese in it. Can't see. I'm half blind now. Anyway, so that's interesting, and you know, I think if you keep away from the sugar and you keep away from a lot of the carbs, you know, you make sure if you're going to have carbs, it's really good carbs, not junk. You're not eating white bread. You know, if you want to have pasta once in a great while, fine, but I think that really makes a difference. You just cut out the sugar, cut out a lot of the carbs, and boom, you're fine, you know. You have to have an American address and go back every 2 years. Under Type C Medicare, you can pay overseas and file for 80% reimbursement, but you have to have an American address and go back every 2 years. That's interesting. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I've been out of the system so long, I don't know I'm going to pay anything. I don't want to pay. If anything, just pay for the insurance that we have here, and that's fine. I don't want Medicare. You know, I don't want to have to pay for it. So I guess it depends on how much it is, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I haven't really given it much thought now, and I'm about a year away from when I can file, when I can first file for Social Security, and I like to wait as long as I can, although I don't want to wait years, but I don't want to get it right away. There's a certain amount I want to hit. I want to see what the, what's it called, the COLA, the cost of living adjustment is this time. I think it's only like 3%, not even 3%. And then wait for next year's and see if there's a adjustment next year, and then maybe then after that I'll file. We'll see. Yeah, 135 bucks a month. I mean, for 135 bucks a month, I can get insurance here, and it's pretty good insurance, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you know, whatever. I'll work it out. Number 4. Australia. There you go. This is for all the Aussies. Everybody has good things, has great things to say about Australia. About the only thing that people complain about is the cost of living, is that it's quite expensive. I've heard you don't have to wait until the max age. You get the same at an early rate. No, you don't get back on the 4th. You're coming back on the 4th of September. Oh, you're going back home. No, you can't get the same amount as it when you are 70 years old. You're not going to get that, or 67, whatever the full age is. You're not gonna. You get less. So what you need to do is figure out. You need to figure out Well, how much am I leaving on the table? Is it a lot of money? And where do you think how long do you think you're really going to live to? And you got to make an assessment. And you know, it's not always easy, but you know, you just make your choice and you live with it. All right, so Australia, the total life expectancy of both sexes at birth for 2020 is 84.3. Total life expectancy of both sexes at birth for 2021, 84.5. So it's gone up from 84.3 to 84.5. Not all that much, but still 84.5 is the average age there. That's pretty good. Australia has continued to improve its healthcare system and provides advanced medical treatments, both of which have led to lower infant mortality rates and earned its place among the countries with the highest life expectancy. I mean, it's number 4. That's pretty darn good. You know, I don't know that I'd want to live in Australia, to be honest. I think it's probably a great place to live, but I think that the government maybe is a little too strict. I think, you know, if the government were to be a little more flexible, then maybe it would be worth living there. Although I think the average person doesn't have any problems with the government. I don't know. I haven't been there, and you know, I'm not even contemplating living there, so it doesn't really matter. But that's how I think. Maybe that's a bit short-sighted, or I'm not well informed, but that's how it goes. All right, so now we have the top 3. Wow. And one of them doesn't surprise me, and the other 2, they do surprise me. So number 3 is Japan, which Osaka is one of the places where it's a blue zone. I think Sardinia is one as well. I can't remember all of them. The other is like Loma Linda, which I used to live right up against Loma Linda. Yeah, going way too woke, just like most Western countries. Well, that's, you know, that's a big reason for me. I don't want to live. I don't want to live that way. You know, we can live and not have to deal with that BS. Because that's what it is to me. It's, you know, I understand you want things to be better. You want to think, you know, and be more inclusive, and you don't want to, you know. But I just think they've overdone it. I don't know how it is in Oz, but I know in the United States, you know, there's a lot of people that are going, that's it, I don't want to live here anymore. And people are younger and younger when they're moving away. So, yeah, that's not the only reason not to want to live in the United States. My wife wants to live there. I would like to get her citizenship. I would like to help her get her citizenship before I'm gone, whenever that is. You know, but that means I got to live in the United States, and I just don't know, man. I don't know about me living in the U.S. I would say that I am very apprehensive about going back there. But it'll feel like 20 years. I don't think you drink and smoke and party all that much, do you? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I mean, really consider, I think about how I used to party when I was, say, 20 years old, 18 years old, 22 years old, all the way up to about 30, and how I used to party. I'm lucky I'm alive, because I did some, you know, some of the things, I've done just about everything that you can do to the max. I pushed myself. And how I lived through it, I don't know. And now, I don't touch anything. Maybe some Gatom once in a while. You know, once in a great while. And, you know, I do it a couple times. If I have it a little bit, then I'm like, renovation a stadium in Perth, no urinals in it, only seats. That's a, oh my God. How can you, I don't even know, you know, whatever. To me, I'm like, that's just stupid. We don't want men's and women's bathrooms. Okay, well, how are you going to do that in a big stadium? I mean, really, come on. Anybody? Does anybody have any thoughts on this? To me, that's just crazy. I don't want to deal with it. To be honest, I don't want to live that way. You know how people live out in the woods and you're like, well, where have you lived? What have you done? Oh, well, I've lived here my whole life. How do you feel when you go into the city? I don't want to go into the city. What do I want to go there for? I'm happy out here. And that's kind of how I think. I've been living in the city, I've lived in the country, and I don't want to live in the cities where there's all kinds of people and I mean, really, like I'm sitting here, nobody's talking to me, nobody's bothering me. I like that. But I know if I really want it, if I go out, yeah, I can have some interaction if I want, and I'm in the city, right? If I put my headphones on, I won't have any interaction. So that's my way to get away from while I'm here in the city. But if I want, I can talk to all the people I want. It could be very easy for me to interact with people here. I don't want to interact with people. It has nothing to do with being stubborn or antisocial. It doesn't, I'm just, you know, how can I say it? I'm not antisocial. I just like being alone. You know, I hang out with my friends for 2-3 hours, maybe 4 hours. That's enough. Okay, I'll see you later. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. You know. I haven't seen Jono in a couple of months, to be honest. I haven't seen him since before I left. And I've been meaning to go over, but, you know, he'll never come over here. He will never come to me. Because he just doesn't want to leave his little area. So I got to think, okay, when am I going to be in that area? When am I going to be in his area? And I haven't really been out there to where I felt like stopping for a while, for very long. I don't think there's anything wrong with troughs. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, if you think about it, what's wrong with it? I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. You know, we all have what we have, we whip it out, we do our business, and we get on down the road. Why do we have to, I don't get it. I don't expect the women to go in troughs. You know, you can't make a little room for them? You can't make a little room for us? You can't have 2 separate rooms? You can't put a wall in between it? I don't get it. Anyway, in Japan, in 2020, the life expectancy was 84.7. 1 year later, it was 84.8. Japan is famous for its residents being among the longest living in the world and its low rate of obesity, low consumption of red meat, and a diet focusing more on a plant-based food and fish, and all contribute to higher life expectancy. And as I said, the Okinawans are among the longest living people in the world. They have more, what are they called, centenarians? They live over 100 years old. they have more people than almost anywhere in the world. And the reason is because they have a sense of community, as well as they're healthy, they're active, they walk around a lot, they do things, they have a sense of, they have a purpose. And all these things, you know, if you're 70 years old and you're like, my life is over, I don't have anything to do, and my family's all gone, you know, either you sit there and you mope and you end up dying, or, you know, you get a life for yourself. But, you know, I think if you stop being active, then that's when you start having problems, and you start, yeah, the less active you are, the more problems you'll have. So that's number 3, Japan. Number 2, and this kind of surprised me, but now that I think about it, it doesn't really surprise me. But what does surprise me is that China is not on this list. But then when you really think about China, this weekend, China, you know, China has a long way to go. And if you think about what they're doing and all the things they're doing, but then if you think about this place, there's a big difference. It's just like Singapore and China, big difference. Hong Kong and China, big difference. Hong Kong is number 2. I didn't know this. I learn something new every day. Hong Kong, total life expectancy in 2020 is 85.2. In 2021, 85.5. That's the average. That's crazy. 85.5. Now, if you think about it, I think every place on this list, let me see here. Yeah, every place on this list, okay, Singapore went down 0.1, but every place on the list is about 83 years to 85.5. 80, let me see here. Almost 80, well, 86. So it's only 3.5 years. So somehow it's like the mile, cracking the 4-minute mile. All right, we've cracked, the average is 80. Now we're at 85.9, 86. When are we going to crack 90? The average age is 90. When are we going to crack that? To me, that's, and then 100. Can we do that? Planning a bike camping trip from Canada to Mexico. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, I'd like to do that. That sounds pretty fun. But Hong Kong, let's see here. Hong Kong, 2020 was 85.2, and 2021, 85.5, so it's gone up. Hong Kong's higher life expectancy is a result of high quality healthcare while low levels of smoking, wow, have also contributed to a healthier country. So maybe they're starting to slow down their smoking habit. When I was there, I don't remember all that many people smoking, to be honest. However, what I'll say is, now, with China, Hong Kong being part of China, and not being run by the British government, I will say that the rates in 2023, 2024, they're going to go down. You know, I don't know why. I just feel that way. I feel now with China in charge, the age is going to go down. There's going to be a drop. Well, you know, what's funny is the toilet cleaners in Hong Kong, they have money. They're not poor. they have a decent standard of living, you know, believe it or not. So 85.5, that's just, I don't know, that's great. Now, that brings us to number one. Number one on the list, I don't think any of you will get number one, unless you've looked at the list, but I don't think that any of you will get number one. It's crazy. But this place is the home to some of the richest people in the world. 30% of the people in this country, 30% of the residents are millionaires. So if you live here, you better have some money. No, it's not Thailand. Come on. No way. Thailand's not even in the list. Thailand's not in the top 10. Sorry. Neither's China. Neither's the United States. You know. Number one is Monaco. If you can believe that. Monaco. 30% of the people in Monaco are millionaires. Singapore's number 10. Number 10. Well, maybe because of the wealthy. The clue I gave saying 30% of the people are millionaires, because that's pretty important. Yes, long leaf means dementia, and in the U.S., not many look after their parents or grandparents, and so senior centers, not good living. Monaco and Hong Kong don't count. Why not? As far as the people in America, this is the thing. Even in Thailand, in Japan, in many countries, the parents, it is it's their children's responsibility to make sure that the parents are taken care of. But in the United States, that's not how it is. It's backwards. And it stays that way until it just goes away and you're supposed to take care of yourself, and, you know, that's the way it goes. But parents generally don't take care of, the children don't take care of their parents in America as much as they should. And so, I mean, you know, how will the United States ever have that sense of community, that sense of family, that closeness that maybe allows them, or might allow them, to squeeze out a couple more years of good living? I don't see it happening. I think the United States, they got a lot of problems. I mean, it's a big country, but there's some big problems. And to be honest, I don't want anything to do with them. I mean, why would I? I don't want to have to pay, you know, $10 for a gallon of milk, or whatever it is, $8. I don't want to have to pay that. The price has gone up here already. It's gone up from 79 to 95 baht in the last 2-3 years. You know, assisted living, that's a little different than nursing home, or that's another way to put it. But if they don't want to live there, why do they have to live there? Why won't their children take care of them? You know, I think it's very important. But in Monaco in 2020, it's interesting because in Monaco the average age has gone down. It used to be 86.5, which is a full year more than Hong Kong. It is now 85.9. So, 85.9 is still quite good. It's almost 86 years old. That's pretty good. I would say that, when I was growing up, it used to be like 72. And women lived a couple years longer, maybe. Something like that. So, there we have it. Let me see here. Number 10, Singapore. Number 9, Liechtenstein. Number 8, Norway. Number 7, Switzerland. Number 6, Malta. Number 5, Republic of Korea. Number 4, Australia. Number 3, Japan. Number 2, Hong Kong. And number 1, Monaco. So there you have it. There's a lot of people in here. Anyway, so those are the countries with the highest life expectancy. The average money spent on food in nursing homes in Australia is $6 a person. That's it? It's not very much. $6 a person? I don't spend $6. I spend more, a lot more than that on myself. Well, that may have something to do with it. I'm trying to think, Loma Linda was a city, and it's not, it's nothing special, really, but there's a hospital there. And, it's a nice place to live. I lived right next to it, and then there's, I think it's Sardinia, and then there's Okinawa. So they're all small. So there's not a huge number of people living in these places. I think the other place is in Greece somewhere. I can't remember where it is, which is interesting. But I think it has to do with the way that they live as opposed to, what is it? Icaria, something like that. It's how they live, not necessarily, they don't eat a lot of processed food. They're not eating a huge amount of red meat. And they're active, and they're they have a sense of community. Finland was going to build retirement homes in Phuket for their citizens. Supposedly, the retirement communities here are quite good. I hope nobody puts me in a retirement home when I get older. I don't want to live in a retirement home. I don't know. Maybe some people want to live there because they don't have a partner, and there's people have lives. They can't just stay with you or hang out with you, or maybe you're alone and you're like, hey, if I'm in a retirement home, maybe I'll find myself a partner. Maybe I'll find myself a woman. I don't know. When you're 90 years old, are you thinking about I want to get jiggy with it? I don't know. Maybe it depends on who it is and what kind of shape they're in. I don't know. An acquaintance has less than 6 months of life and recently placed in hospice. His pension and Social Security came out to $3,000 a month, but his hospice is $5,000 a month. Sad way to go in the U.S. Well, yeah, maybe he shouldn't live in the U.S. If it's possible for him to move, maybe he should move somewhere else. Who was it that was telling me? Oh, I think it was Chuck. Chuck told me the other day that he's got a friend. I think she's, I don't remember how old she is. She's like 90 or something like that. And she's been living off of her retirement funds, and she's burned through them. And now she has very little money, and they are forcing her to go into a retirement home, and that the state will take care of her, and she doesn't have any say in the matter, which to me is yeah, I don't like that. You know, I guess it depends on the situation, really, but yeah, I was like, what? How? I mean, you know, it's just like you're flabbergasted. They're telling you what to do, how to do things, where to go, and you just have to do it. They'll drag her out, which is like, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, no, you're not dragging me out. Yeah, please don't put me in a nursing home. I can't see myself getting to the point where I can't take care of myself. I mean, maybe if I live to be, you know, 100, it's going to be hard for me to take care of myself. I don't know. That's the thing. But hopefully, you know, my kids will have kids. Their kids will have kids. Maybe I'll be a grandfather. Maybe I'll be a great-grandfather. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that's all we can hope for, is that if we have children or we have a close-knit family, that the family members will take care of you, and you won't be stuck in a nursing home or assisted living or whatever it is, because that's not the way I want to go. There's got to be, there has to be better than that. And you know, the thing is I come to the mall a lot, obviously. I come probably 4 or 5 times a week. And I see, first of all, I see the commercialism, and I'm talking about commercialism when it comes to food. I see McDonald's, I see Burger King, I see KFC, I see Chester's. What did they just open? Swenson's. I forget what else is down there. Oh, there's right over here is, right next to us is, what's it called? I can't think of it. I can't remember what this place is called next. But it's a Japanese, like hamburger joint. And then there's another place they're opening up. It's like, you know, Mom's Touch or something like that. And I just think to myself, is the food that is in these places going to be good for you? No, it's not. It's not going to be good for you. If I go to the food court, most of the time, I have to really make an educated choice, you know, and I think I'm fairly educated about this now. I don't want to be eating nothing but noodles, because I know it might limit my lifespan a little bit. You know, maybe it will. And that's the thing. Every day matters. When you don't feel good, and I know this, when you don't feel good, all you want is to continue living and not feel the pain. You don't want to be in pain. You want to live better. And so if they tell you you can't eat cheeseburgers anymore, they're not good for you, or you can't eat pizza anymore, it's not good for you. Well, guess what? I'm cutting out cheeseburgers. You know, whatever it might be. You need to cut it out. You know, you need to cut it out. You need to add certain things in your the way you're living. And when I was younger, I didn't think about these things. And you know, my mother tells me this all the time, because we talk about Alex and Nicholas. And that is, when you're young, you're not looking at the future. You're not thinking about long term. You're not thinking about, okay, I'm going to work for 10 years, and all the money I'm going to make, I'm going to live very, very cheaply, and all that money that I'm making, I'm putting it into something that's going to make me money. I'm going to buy a property. It's a rental property. It's going to make me money. And by the time I'm 40, I'm going to have 4 properties, and I'm going to be making money, and I don't have to work. You're not thinking that way. Most people do not think that way. They're not thinking that way about their health either. You know, and then what happens is gradually it accumulates, or you're getting bad information, and it's too late. You know, you can only do what you can do. So you know, like I make changes when I'm older. Well, hopefully those will still help me to live a few more years. You know. Anyway, let's just hope that we don't end up in a nursing home with Nurse Ratched. You know, that's all we can hope for. You got a Thai wife and Thai educated kids. You are okay. They are Asian. They will take care of you. Asian stuff. Well, they'll make sure I'm taken care of. That they will do. I'm pretty sure of that. Although, you know, I don't want to be taken care of. I don't want them to have to worry about me. I'd rather just, you know, hey, if I'm 80, I go to sleep, boom, one day I don't wake up. All right, bye-bye. See you later. It's been fun. It's been real. And, you know, that's it. They don't have to take care of me. You know. And my wife is a bit younger than me, so hopefully she'll be able to help me a little bit. She already does help me a little bit now, but she's very busy, and so, you know, if I want things, most of the time I do it myself. I don't want to wait for her. I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to have to think about them. They got their own lives. The only reason that I would ask them to do anything for me is if I absolutely needed it. You know. And I think that's what's most important. That you can count on them. And in the United States, maybe you can't count on your family. I don't know. I don't really know how it is now, but I do know how it used to be. And some people you could count on, and some people would be like, well, you know, I don't have the means. I'm sorry. I can't do anything for you. You know, you're stuck, and you're going to go somewhere that's dirt cheap, and there's nothing else you can do. I know someone who is living in a nursing home who is living in a nursing home that is, you know, like the cheapest nursing home he can live in, and it's basically paid for by the government. And there's nothing he can do, you know. If you reach 87, they should make you go on a skydiving trip without a chute over the ocean. Yeah, that's the answer right there. Biggest problem is what? I don't know what the biggest problem is. Let's just hope. All I can do is say, let's hope. Because for all I know, I could die tomorrow. I could die in 10 years. I could die in 30 years. I don't know. You know, I know I don't feel like I used to when I was younger, but I'm a lot more relaxed now than I used to be. And I don't let things bother me as much. Because at the end of the day, what's important is your basic needs are met. You know, thank you very much, Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's important is that you are eating healthy. You're living in a way that you're fairly happy. And you have good people around you. And other than that, really, it doesn't matter, you know, if you got the best computer or the best car or whatever it is. What does this say? Big dreams, big butt. Big dreams, big butt? That's what her shirt said. Sometimes I think these people don't read their shirts. And Nicholas had a shirt on the other day. I have to tell this story. He had this shirt on the other day. And I'm looking at it, and it's got this design on it. I'm like, what is that, you know? I'm like, Nicholas, what's on that shirt? And he's like, I don't know. And I started looking at it, and I saw it said sexual. I go, sexual? They can never get the tables level. I don't know why. Either the tables aren't level or the floor isn't level. See this? I said, Nicholas, what does your shirt say? And he's like, what? We both are looking at a shirt, trying to figure it out, and then Bo comes over, and she's trying to look at it. We're looking at it, I look and I go, does it say sexual? It says sexually harassed. I go, why does your shirt say sex? And he goes, no, that's not a D at the end, it's an R. I'm like, why does your shirt say sexual harasser? You can't see it until you really look at it. And I'm like, did you know that this says this? And he's like, no, I didn't know. I'm like, why are you wearing that shirt, man? He didn't even know. He had no idea. So when you wear a shirt, you really need to know what the shirt says before you put it on. I never forget that my wife, when I first met her, she used to have this shirt, it said junkie baby powder. And then there was a needle. And I was like, you're talking about heroin. And I was like, why are you wearing that shirt? She said, oh no, somebody gave me the shirt, or I forget what it was, but she had the shirt on. So today is a Friday. Do they open at 10:30 on Friday or 10 on Fridays? I don't know. There's all these people walking around now. It's 10:20. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. I think you can go to the grocery, but you can't go anywhere else. And there's a lot more stores starting to open up, but there's still a lot of construction going on out in front of Starbucks. You can't go in through the front door. You have to go the roundabout way. They got all these cars sitting here, which I wonder how they do, but they got all these cars sitting out here in the front. And then they have this Even Boy. I've never heard of Even Boy. I said that the other day. I've never heard of Even Boy. It's a beauty store. I've never heard of it in my whole life. I've never heard of it. And there's a lot of little stores. Kiko Milano, never heard of it. First Aid Kiss House of Scents, never heard of it. I've never heard of some of these stores that they have. They're putting in all kinds of stores that people have never heard of. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not in the know. The big show, I'm going away this weekend. There's a video today about the $10 challenge for street food. That's tonight. You should call them ugly stores. Beautiful people don't need them. Well, you can see right across the way here. That's First Aid Kiss House of Scents right in front of us. And to the right is the Kiko Milano, and then farther down the way is Even Boy. And it's huge. I mean, it's a huge store. Really big. I don't know why they have it. And then this weekend I'm going to Koh Samet, which, you know, should be good for a video, a stream. I don't know, a stream or two, a video or two. I should stream at least once from there, maybe twice, and I should be able to put together a video or two from there. Although I'm really thinking, you know, the GoPro 12 comes out in about 3 weeks, and I'm thinking about maybe getting it, scraping the money together, and yeah, I don't know, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not bringing a camera when I go to Koh Samui. I want to relax, and you know, making a video will take up enough time. You know, I've done that before, and you know, I'll get back into it eventually. In the next 6 months, there'll be some changes. There will be some changes. There'll be some new things. My photos are still in a gallery. I still make a little money from them, you know, every now and then. And I will get back into it eventually. It's one of the things that I plan on doing, getting back into photography. And, you know, right now I'm into the video and into streaming, and you know, and into exercise and taking care of myself and trying to get myself into good shape, to be very healthy, and that's about all I can hope for right now. There's a couple things I want to get in the next couple of months, so hopefully I'll get those. Listen, we're coming to the end of the stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Leave a super chat or join or whatever. Hit the join button. I know all about photography, Michael. I've done it for many years, and I've worked as a photographer, but I just don't have that desire right now to take all kinds of pretty pictures. But the videos is a little bit different. But do me a favor. Smash the like button, smash the join button, smash the subscribe button. Do everything you're supposed to do. You know, I have to say these things because people forget, but look down in the description. Go to my website at anamericaninbangkok.com. I got the new site up now. There's a lot of new things on there. Go check it out. I'd appreciate it if you do. I guess that's it. I guess I'm done. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Boom, I got a super chat. I didn't get shut out. I really like that. That's great. Thank you, Andy. Choke D to you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I only use the phone to take pics and videos, only on my travel, no camera. I'm thinking about getting a GoPro just because you can go underwater with the GoPro, but maybe with the phone you can do that as well. With some phones they have cases and things like that. And I like just using a phone, but with the phone, generally you need to use a gimbal. And even the gimbal doesn't help. With the GoPro you can take a lot smoother footage most of the time. But you know, listen, I need to get a phone pretty soon because my phone is pretty much at its end. And you know, I may get a Samsung, I don't know. I may go with the Korean brand instead of the iPhone, simply because it's cheaper and I can get a lot more for my money. So, I don't know. We'll see. What does this say? Retired captain refused to reside in the U.S. long term to get his spouse U.S. citizenship and benefits because he's not allowed to return to the Philippines unless the process is finished. Tough on you if you do. Yeah, exactly. I can keep my retirement visa going and going and going and go. I can do all this stuff if I want. I can do whatever I want pretty much. You know, it's just a matter of when I do it, do I have the money? Is there, you know, do I have plenty of money to do everything I want to do? That's really all it is. And most of the time, I'm okay. I might struggle for a little while, but I'm okay. So that's interesting. It's always, you know, a little bit of a challenge, but and it's the same thing because I'm going to need to get a new tablet or what do you call it? PC, not PC. What do you call them? Laptops. I'm going to need to get something like that. And I'm going to need to get a new phone, and then maybe the GoPro, and then, you know, do I want to use my camera as my regular camera, my Fuji? Do I want to use that as as something to shoot video with. I don't know. So anyway, I got a lot of things to think about. I love the magic eraser on Google Pixel phone can remove people and objects from pictures. Samsung phones live longer than iPhones. Well, I got an iPhone 8, and how old is it? It's many years old. You know, we're on what? The iPhone 14, and I'm on iPhone 8. So this phone has lasted me many, many years. Thank you very much. And, you know, hopefully it'll last me a couple more, but I just need to make sure that all the apps work with it. And I'll use this thing until it falls apart, you know. But I don't know. You know, if I get the GoPro, I don't know, you know, because it introduces a new dynamic into filmmaking. And it might be interesting to have that again. You know, the old ones that I had, they fell apart. Most of the ones that I had before, they broke or fell apart. And I'm not that brutal with my equipment. I'm pretty decent with it. I really try to take good care of my equipment. But the GoPros, they've never held up for me, so I'm a little apprehensive. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I got things to do. I gotta go run an errand and then come back home because they made you. Who made you? You still have the same tablet? Or you got a new one? I gotta go run an errand and then go back home, and then I'm already packed, ready to roll, and then from there I'm gonna take off and I'm on my way, and yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward just to getting away. So anyway, should be fun. Couldn't use it anymore. They stopped servicing it. Oh, well, they did that with the Samsung TV that we had. They said, I'm sorry, we don't service that TV anymore. And I was like, what? We had to buy a new TV. That was it. It was done. No more. You know, it cost us like 20,000, 25,000 baht, something like that. You know? Anyway, all right, well, it's time to go. I better go. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. And until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you the next time from Koh Samet. I can't wait. Should be beautiful. We're at a nice hotel with a private beach. It should be fantastic. So I will talk to you guys later. All right? See you later.